So it's Tuesday, the 14th of April. I'm kind of losing track. I believe this is day 5 of working on my Boulanger song. So this morning, it was a long, good few days since I'd last done any work on this piece. So the first thing I did was I just kind of extemporized the translation just to remind myself what it was about. It took a little bit of time to get it going, but I did it about 5 or 6 times. So just to remind us all, she went down into the meadow, and because the meadow was covered in flowers that were of the type of flower plant that had the stem that liked to grow underwater. These drowned flowers, I lifted them up and gathered them. Soon, she was completely soaked. She went to the other end of the meadow, which was completely covered in flowers. She smiled, and she shook herself with the awkward grace that belongs to girls that are too tall. She had the look that's of lavender flowers. So I did that, as I say, about 5 or 6 times, and then 2 or 3 times I would have gone through the French pronunciation just to remind myself, just to get it on my ear. And then the next thing that I was doing was I was kind of finally, you might say, looking at the actual music. So I looked at the rhythm of the music, and I've been working on this book, Freeing the Natural Voice by Kristin Linklater recently, and I thought I'd apply some of this to what I was thinking of it. So yeah, she's talking about what you might call breath control. And her point is, it is very important never to continue the sound until you run out of breath. Let each set of sounds have an easy rhythmic pattern that stimulates the breath but does not punish it. The breath serves the thought, and each thought has an intrinsic length. Each new thought has a new breath. Short thoughts have short breaths. Medium thoughts have medium breaths, and long thoughts have long breaths. Seldom does an organic thought drive the breath through to the last gasp. No purpose whatsoever is served by learning to sustain a breath over a longer and longer span of time. All that happens is that the natural elasticity of the breathing muscles is impaired and capacity is reduced because the effort involved creates tension, and tension contracts. Everyone has a natural breathing capacity which, when free from inhibitory tension, is fully capable of serving the individual emotional and imaginative capacity. The assumption here is that work on the voice is in the interest of the human truth it expresses. So she says as well, to be sure therefore in dealing with longer sentences, which I suppose is the type of thing you get in music, to sustain the thought which will automatically make the breath last. You never need try to sustain the breath as such. The breath will serve as sustained thought. So with that in mind, I then took to kind of looking at the rhythm, and I didn't do the whole song. I just did the 2 first phrases and just speaking it. So I kind of learned it this morning, but 1, 2. Elle était descendue au bas de la prairie, et comme la prairie était toute fleurie de plantes. Do that again. I did memorize it. 1. Elle était descendue au bas de la prairie, et comme le fleuri, no, it's wrong. Et comme la prairie est toute fleur, no, était. Et comme la prairie était toute fleurie de plantes. So that was how I worked through the rhythm, and then I also looked at the notes. So the first phrase, as I was saying, is kind of based around the B and the E. So move through them. And I practice that with any rhythm. And the next one goes up by step. And back down. In the home key. And then, as I remember, I worked out last or the week before, it then, as you get those flowers, it has the flattening feeling. Et comme la prairie était toute fleurie de plantes. Comme la prairie était toute then join together, 1 and 2. So as yet I haven't done work on the line itself, but I'm just allowing at the moment the music to come from my own experience of the text. And I know that things will improve over time.